さんこんにちは。PPC のマラカル発電所ようこそ。私は、PPC のアントニー・ルディームと申します。よろしくお願いします。Okay, so with that said, I think it was agreed prior to the beginning of this ceremony that the language for today will be English. Thank you, Paramount Chief Raklay, allowing me to speak English. So with that said, welcome everyone to the groundbreaking ceremony for the Japan Grant Aid project for development of the power transmission network in the Republic of Palau. Today, March 13, now at 1:30 p.m. Firstly, before we begin, let me just take this short time to recognize everyone joining us today. Starting off, let me recognize His Excellency Surangal S. Sweets Jr., the President of the Republic of Palau. Also want to specially recognize His Paramount Chief Raklay, Rafael Baungirmang. Also want to recognize the members of Congress joining us today, starting with the Senate. Senator Rubay Kikuo Inabo, who is also the Vice Chairperson of the Senate Committee on Energy, Public Infrastructure, and Telecommunications. Also joining her from the Senate is Senator Salvador Talas. From the House of Delegates, let me recognize Delegate from Along and the Chairman of the House Committee on Energy, Communications, and Telecommunications, Delegate Timothy R. Sinsa. Also recognize the Delegate of Ngiwan and Vice Chairman of the said committee, Delegate Masasinge Arurang. Also recognize the Delegate of Malgayok State, Delegate Frutoso Tende. And lastly, let me recognize the Honorable Minister Charles I. Obiang, Ministry of Public Infrastructure and Industries. For those who don't know, Minister Obiang was the Palau's representative in signing the grant agreement. Also, I would like to take this special opportunity to recognize our close partners and the reason for this project here today. We start off by recognizing His Excellency Hiroyuki Orikasa, the Ambassador of Japan. Also recognize one of our close friends, the Chief Representative of the JICA Palau office, Ryutaro Kobayashi-san. Also recognize the consultant for this project from Yachio Engineering and the project manager on behalf of Yachio, Mr. Hiroki Kajino-san. Now from the supplier, we are very lucky to have two members from the supplier side. They actually arrived last night and are joining today's groundbreaking ceremony. So the supplier for this project is actually the joint venture of Toenet Corporation and Aichi Electric. So first, let me recognize from Toenet Corporation, Mr. Yoshihiro Hosokawa-san, the Executive Corporate Officer and General Manager of the International Division. Secondly, from Aichi Electric, let me introduce Hirotsugi Shibayama-san, the Director and Company Vice President and General Manager of the Sales Department. So with that said, without further ado, let us proceed with today's groundbreaking ceremony. So to start, let me ask Mr. Garnet Daniel, one of the pastors from Omubulela Biblia Rabelao Church, to come and give us the opening prayer.
President, Raklay, Senators, Delegates, and our special guest from Japan. My name is Pastor Garnet Daniel, and I'm just here to pray for this project. And there's a verse in a book called Ecclesiastes that 2 hands make light work. So I just want to say as a young man, thank you for your help. Thank you, leaders of Palau, for allowing this opportunity to happen. Let us pray. Father in heaven, thank you so much for this opportunity that I have to come pray for this project. Lord, I pray that may this project be for your glory and for the good of the people of Palau. I thank you that as a young man I have this opportunity to see your work through the hands of all these men and women and these leaders of Palau. Lord, I pray that the project will go smoothly and that everything will work together for your good and for your people. Thank you so much for today. Thank you for this afternoon, this great weather. I pray all these things in Jesus' most powerful name. Amen.
Thank you very much, Pastor Daniel. And I guess just for the people here, I've known Pastor Daniel before he became a pastor. Actually, when he was still in high school, and I used to coach the 17 and under Team Palau team. And Pastor Daniel used to try out, and I used to coach him for basketball. So thank you again. I guess close ties does come very helpful in. I guess I can call on those friendships to come and help me with this groundbreaking ceremony. So moving on, we have I will ask the PPU CEO, Mr. Frank Yota, to give the welcoming or opening remarks.
Presidente, walita si berkau ma reply, kiran mutri kita ulbira berau ma sa libra siapal, ma direct caiga ma ONG ma IT, ma direct local subcontractor ti, WCC. Direct reply kultur berkau ma presidente, ebok terita ada dak tu amrige, abiluni pesul, sulam. Ali. Konnichiwa. Before I go into my remarks, let me first ask you to take a pause and listen to your surroundings. Let's be reminded, sitting right in front of the Malakal power plant, which on a normal day would be very loud due to the running of our 2 5-megawatt Niigata gensets. The engines are at rest with operation of the solar facility at Ppuc. The same renewable energy that we look forward to utilizing with the new infrastructure projects to distribute to our customers in Coro as well as Babadao. So on behalf of PPUC Chairman Irat Matul Bared and the Board of Directors, PPUC Management, and the hard-working men and women of PPUC, I am proud to welcome all of you, especially Mr. President, to the groundbreaking ceremony for the project for the development of the power transmission network here at Malakal PPUC Power Plant and the Malakal Substation Facility. This is an extremely important and long-awaited projects, not only for PPUC, but also for the people of Palau. And we are very fortunate for the partnership between the government of Japan and the government of Palau, Mr. President. This grant is made possible by our strong and Togubetsu bond. Despite the challenges we face together to get us to this point, the grant agreement was signed in September 2022, and the project was expected to commence last year. Regrettably, with the prevailing impacts of COVID and the increase in worldwide prices, our first tender was unsuccessful. However, the government of Japan, Mr. President, within 6 months of the conclusion of the initial tender, stepped in with additional funding. And as a result, with assistance of the consultant for the project, Yachio Engineering, we were able to conduct a retendering process within the same year. We also recognize the commitment from the supplier of this project, the joint venture of Ppuc Corporation and IT Electric. Despite not being the lowest bidder, they were eager to step in when the negotiations with the initial lowest bidder fell through. Despite a last-minute invitation for negotiations they made a travel to meet with us despite being so far away from Tokyo. We were very impressed by their project team and their attention to detail. On behalf of PPUC, we are very happy and we look forward to working together for the development of PPUC transmission network. Now, to the details of the project. As evidenced by the recent power outages, our existing system has its limitations. One of the critical limitations of the transmission system is there exists only one 34.5 kV transmission line connecting the Malakal power plant, the Aimeri power plant, and the Babadao by the west side of the island. Consequently, when a fault occurs on this single transmission line, be it a tree falling on the line or a damaged equipment, it would result in a wider power outage. And despite PPUC's effort to maintain the existing system, it is imperative that significant investment are put into upgrading and expansion of the grid to improve the stability of the system. And this starts with this generous grant aid from the people of Japan through the government of Japan and China. Domo arigatou again. This project, which is expected to be completed in June 2025, will start with installation of a new 24.5 kilovolt transmission line connecting from Malakal substation to Babadao and connecting to the Koksai substation at Ppuc via the east side of the island. If you can see it from that green line going. This includes the installation of a 35-kilometer long insulated wire and over 400 new power poles. This activity will create a small loops for the Koror-Babadao grid, improving and reliability of the system by reducing system power loss and reducing the frequency of power outages. In addition, the project will also upgrade 3 existing substations, namely Malakal substation, Irai substation, and Koksai substation. The 8 10-megawatt transformers at Malakal substation, which is behind me, and Irai substation will also be replaced with new 15-megawatt transformers, which will add capacity equivalent, Mr. President, to additional 7,500 homes or households. Yeah. So once again, on behalf of PPUC, we thank the people of Japan through their government and all its partners for its generosity. We thank the government of Palau also, Mr. President, for its partnership and trust. We also thank the consultant and the supplier for its cooperation, and we look forward to delivering a successful project for the people of Palau for a stronger and more stable and reliable electricity system. Domo arigatou.
Thank you very much to the PPUC CEO. And now may I request His Excellency, Ambassador Orikasa-san, to give us the special remarks for today's groundbreaking ceremony.
Your Excellency Sulangal Jr., President of the Republic of Palau, Paramount Chief Secretary, Honorable Senator Inabo, Honorable Senator Salvador Travis, Honorable Delegate Simpao, Honorable Delegate Harlan, Honorable Delegate Terry, Honorable Mr. Charles Obiang, Minister of Public Infrastructure and Industries, and also my brother. Mr. Frank Kyotta, CEO Palau Public Utility Corporation PPUC, Mr. Ryutaro Kobayashi, Chief Representative of JICA Palau Office, Representative of PPUC's Representative of Yachio and Toei Corporations and Aichi Electric. Thank you for coming from Japan all the way. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, konnichiwa ari, good afternoon. First of all, I would like to convey my sincere appreciation to the government of Palau, especially to the Ministry of Public Infrastructure and Industry and Palau Public Utility Corporation PPUC for all the arrangements to host this occasion, and as always for the warm hospitality accorded to us. On behalf of the government and people of Japan, it is my honor to participate in the groundbreaking ceremony for the project for the development of power transmission network worth approximately $16 million US funded by the government of Japan. Ladies and gentlemen, there are three main objectives for this project, which Mr. Kyoto mentioned. The first is the construction of the second transmission line of approximately 35 kilometers between the Malakal Power Station and Airai and Kokusai substations. This will dramatically reduce the frequency and duration of power outage on the island. The second objective is to strengthen capacity of the Malakal Power Plant substation and Airai substation. This project will improve the current system, which is comprised of one 10 megavolt ampere transformer to two 15 megavolt ampere transformers. This will also reduce the power loss in the process of transmission, contributing to increase frequency in the overall process. The sub-objective is to improve substation facilities at Malakal Power Station, Airai substation, and switchgear at Kokusai substation. This project will allow the people of Palau living in Koror and Babeldav Island to experience a reduction in power outage hours and thus improve living conditions thanks to better stability in the power supply. Ladies and gentlemen, President Whips always mentioned that climate change is the most critical issue for the survival of the people of Palau. To quote the President always said that in order to deal with climate change, we must work on solving domestic and international energy problems. Therefore, the government of Japan is proud to be able to help the government of Palau as it makes the utmost effort to meet the national goal of increasing the share of renewable energy to 45% by 2025 and 100% by 2032, based on the National Long-Term Energy Policy and the Palau Energy Roadmap. As you all know, that the government of Palau has secured approximately 20% of its domestic electric supply capacity from renewable energy sources by the end of 2023, but also faces new challenges, such as the low operating rate of solar power operations, the shortage of energy storage facilities, and the shortage of manpower. I sincerely hope that these projects marks a significant step towards not only stabilizing the power supply in Palau, but also plays a complementary role to power generation from renewable energy sources. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to congratulate the Ppuc Corporation and IG Electric Corporation Ltd. as well for successfully being selected as a contractor. And I also like to pay my respect to Yachio Engineering Corporation Ltd. For their dedicated work to make this project happen. As stakeholders of this project, we have very crucial responsibility to both the people of Palau and Japan. No matter how much money is invested and no matter how good this project is, it cannot be considered a success unless the people of Palau can feel the positive impact of this project for many years to come. In closing, as a team of development experts, we are committed to diligent collaborations, aiming to demonstrate to the people of Palau and the people of Japan our dedication to make this project a great success like KB Bridge. Thank you very much. どうもありがとうございました。
Thank you very much, Ambassador Orikasa-san. I think for Ambassador, for what's this? Kitai no kotaeru yoni, PPUC to Yachio to Ppuc to Aichi gambarimasu. So as the CEO had mentioned and the further reminded through the remarks of His Excellency Ambassador Orikasa, this project will not only improve the reliability of the system by reducing the frequency of outages, but also reducing the power loss in the system. This also plays a very important role in Palau's movement to more renewable energy. As of today, the CEO had touched that now the Malacca power plant is shut off, allowing us to have this ceremony here today because of no noise. But I can give you one example. There's only one transmission line connecting this power plant to the solar facility. And if there is a problem with that line, we would suffer a power outage right now. So this project, as the CEO had mentioned, we look forward that after the completion, we can start distributing the renewable energy from Ngatbang both in the west and in the east. So that even if there's a tree that falls on the power line on the west, the Koror and the rest of the community in Airai, Babadam can still continue to receive renewable energy from the east side of the island. So I think that there's two very big benefits from this project. So thank you. And as I said in Japanese, in order to meet the expectation of the people of Japan and the ambassador, PPUC, Yachio, Ppuc, and Aichi will do our very best. So with that said, I think I spoke too much. Let me ask His Excellency President Ronald Whips Jr. to give our keynote remarks. So thank you.
Maluili Tasil se taklay. Senator delegates Arbekladar Vela يقول ترى CEO لا سي دمو نقطة قرن مريجة هذا ركلا وبرضو مرتجع تقوبت سلوك كأحسن مرتجع لانسيت Ambassador Orikasa, Director Kobayashi, and first members of Yacho, Ppuc, and Aichi. Very good afternoon. You know, I apologize for being late. Sometimes there's too many appointments and my staff miss some appointments. So but it's better late than never. That's what I told the United States because the compact finally passed. But you know, today is really a special day. I was sitting there, and before CEO Kyoto spoke, I was wondering, how come it's so quiet? And I was thinking that silence is golden. I heard that quote somewhere, and you know, this project is so critical. This is really something that when I was in the Senate, Senator Enabo, I don't know if you remember, back in, I think, 2015, there was a hearing at PPUC, and at the time, CEO Kioni said, because the questions we were asking is power outages, especially you have power outages and there's long periods where the power is very low, and it burns appliances and affects people all over Babaldao, including Coro. And CEO said at the time, and that was 2015, that we're waiting for the Japanese grant aid. So to hear today that 2025, 10 years later, it will be completed, it's also better late than never. Because you know, kita amral madani sel renglela adalang okla, kita blol mo maraswari sel matamalak loklet dan mitu tadengi. Magdamal kita di mereka sudi. You know, there's families, they struggle, and when their appliances break because they don't have sufficient power or bad power, they say, PUC should pay, somebody should pay. And when we have projects like this that solve those problems, we can provide better service to our people. It's so critical. You know, the other thing that, you know, we're in Malacca, and I look just over here. We know, Ambassador, that there's a new hotel project that's being developed. And the good news, for the first time in a very long time, I think the Japanese investment in Palau in a hotel, a big hotel, is PPR. And that's over 40 years ago. And this is now another Japanese investment by, of course, Yasuda-san, Donkey Group, and a critical investment for our economic development. So this project is so important for economic development in Palau. Because not only does it allow for 7,500 new households, but it allows us to take on more commercial customers. Because we know commercial customers are critical in helping PPUC in maintaining and providing good operations to all the people of Palau. So this project is not only good for individuals, but also good for the commercial sector. And I think, lastly, we know that we cannot solve the climate crisis without solving the energy crisis or the energy transition. And we have a facility in Koksai, but I think we want more facilities. And this project allows us, hopefully, to add on more facilities. We know we have to deal with the storage capacity, but it's critical for us in transitioning to 45% and moving on to 100%, hopefully by 2032. So today, we're here celebrating the beginning of this critical project for the economic development for the people of Palau. And all we can say on behalf of the people of Palau is arigatou gozaimashita. You know, we share a special relationship, a togobetsu relationship. And it's these projects, along with the many others. And when it comes to electricity, or let's use dengue, because that's our Palawan word. You understand Palawan, right? And dengue, that's Palawan also. I just want you to... Japan has been a critical partner in ensuring that the electrical systems in Palau are at the very best. I know that here in Malacca, there's at least 3 dengue projects over the years that have been installed to upgrade. We have also one in Imali. And I know the transmission lines all over Babaldao and through Koror were also provided by the government and the people of Japan. So this is just a further extension of really the generosity and you know, one of the things that we Palauans need to understand is it's really their generosity, because it's through their tax dollars. I'm sure it's from your VAT that you are able to help the people of Palau, and we are truly grateful. I say, Minister Obiang, all, you know, we have a term in Palau, and every place we go we say PGST. But I have a new term for PGST. It's not Palau Goods and Services Tax. It's Palau Grassroots Support Tax. So I'm sure that's probably the same name they use in Japan for this Grant Aid project. So we really, truly appreciate the continued support and the continued partnership, and look forward to continued peace and prosperity of our 2 great nations. So may God continue to bless our 2 countries and our people. Domo arigatou gozaimashita. Konnichiwa.
Sulangya President, thank you very much. So we're now almost in the conclusion of our ceremony, and the next part of this ceremony is the actual groundbreaking. And the participants of the groundbreaking, as you see, there's 12 shovels, there's also 12 helmets. So before we go to that, I will ask that all the guests sitting in the front will move and grab your helmet before going there and getting a shovel. I think we will try and line up in the same fashion that we are seated. But before we proceed, let me just take this opportunity and just share the comments made from the President. We really thank Japan Embassy, the Government of Japan, and JICA. PPUC is not only recipient of all of the infrastructure projects the President had referenced, but we are also recipients of the many people-to-people support from Japan, whether it be the volunteer program, which we had one in the power generation. We've also received JICA training through the 1 month, training in Japan. We've also received, we also have employees that are recipients of the Membusho, the Japan Embassy Scholarship for students to travel abroad. And I'm very fortunate to be one of those alumni of the Japan Embassy Scholarship, and to be now here and make full circle and be part of the project for this energy, I think is a very good sign of the contribution from Japan to the people of Palau and PPUC. So with that said, I think I said too much. I will ask that all the guests on the table, please grab your helmet and make your way for the groundbreaking. And the way is, we will count to 3. Please put the shovel and pause for a photo. Okay, onegai shimasu. Everyone look, everyone.